Hi guys, today we are going to talk about controller. Let's see what we are going to cover in this tutorial. Controller, basic terminology related to controller, tool demo. Controller is central console from which load test is managed and monitored. It creates a scenario and generates virtual users from LoadRunner machine. During the test, it captures the data from servers and displays the information in graphical form. After the test, it collates the result from LoadRunner machines and save it in the form so that the same can be viewed using analysis. There are a few basic terminology which we must know before getting into controller. The very first is scenario. It is a file containing all the information about group of users which emulates human user during our testing session. This means through scenario we emulate a real life user. When we run a scenario, user generates on the server and LoadRunner monitors the servers and transition performance. There are two types of scenarios we can build on controller: goal-oriented and manual scenario. Goal-oriented scenario is used for creating scenarios based on customer expected objectives. For example, if the customer wants to achieve 100 hits per second with variable number of users, 50 as minimum and 150 as maximum, then in such case we will use type of load test as goal-oriented. Manual scenario can be built by creating group and specifying script, load generators and number of users included in each group. There is always a question that comes to our mind after knowing two scenarios is how to decide which scenario to use. So the answer is the goal-oriented scenario is selected only when we want to simulate customer objectives or goal such as hit per second, transition per second or response time. Manual scenario is selected only when we want to simulate the number of virtual users according to real-time load behavior of users. The next is load generator. It is a machine which executes the script for generating load during the test. Controller governs this and collates the results from them after the test. Ramp up. This is the rate at which virtual user enters the test. This is provided while designing the scenario. Then ramp down. This is the rate at which virtual user exits from the test. This too is provided while designing the scenario. Now the next is tool demo. In this we will learn how to design the scenario and what needs to monitor during the test. In the demo, we will design a scenario which can be used to test an application under load. For demo purpose, we will create a scenario which emulates the action of 10 users concurrently using web tool application and analyze the performance of system under load. So, during this demo, we will create the scenario using controller, then assign LoadRunner machine to the scenario, run the scenario and monitor the test. I have already opened LoadRunner launcher for programs. Open LoadRunner control by clicking Run Load Test link. So we can see new scenario dialog box. On this we have options to select manual scenario and goal-oriented scenario. In our case we will go with manual scenario which is already selected. Here is the list of scripts available. From this list we will go and select the script which we want to execute in our scenario. Click add and on right hand side all selected scripts come, so We have selected script sample. Let's click OK on this. This is design tab. From here we will design the scenario. Under scenario group we can see the script that we just selected. Let's select this and click on details button. So here we have to provide a proper name to the group. So I have given the name as a web tour. Now from here we have to select our LoadRunner machine. So first of all we have to add it. Either we can add it from here or we can navigate to this button called LoadRunner. Just click on this. So from here we can add LoadRunner machine. So this is local host, which is nothing but controller itself. Couple of times we can run the test using controller itself as a LoadRunner machine, but that is generally not recommended. So in this case I am disabling this and I am going to add a LoadRunner machine. Either we can add it by name or by IP. In my case I am going to provide IP. From this drop down we have to select the platform that LoadRunner machine is using. In our case that is the Windows. Click OK. Now there is an option to check the connectivity between LoadRunner machine and controller machine, and from this connect button we are able to do that. So you can see currently the status is down. As soon as I hit this, the status is changed. So now you can see there is a proper connectivity between this. Let's click close over here and once again navigate and try to access details, and from drop down select LoadRunner machine. Click OK over here. Now the next is runtime setting. So for runtime setting we once again have to select this script and click on this button to access runtime setting. Configuring runtime setting is to define behavior of view user. So let's go through this once. Number of iteration 1, it's look good over here. We don't want pacing. I want extended log whenever error occurs. This will save a lot of space on our machines. Think time, I want to have think time between random think time between 50 to 150%. So that's fine. No additional attribute. Miscellaneous, I want to generate a snapshot on error. Run virtually as a thread. I want to use maximum bandwidth. I want to simulate new user on each iteration. No proxy. Let's everything look good. Okay, so let's come to schedule scenario panel. In real world, the actual user do not log on and log off the system exactly at the same time. So from here we instruct LoadRunner users to gradually log on and log off to the system by scheduling the scenario. We generally go with schedule by scenario, and run mode is real world scenario. The next one is global schedule. In the global schedule action grid, the 4 definitions are set. These are initialize, start user, duration, stop user. Initializing of user is to get ready for the load test by running user init section in the script and reading the LoadRunner machine. So let's set this, and I am invoking the edit button by doing double click on this. So for the test, let's go with initialize each user just before it runs. So for me this looks good. Click OK. Now starting user is nothing but ramp up. So once again let's invoke the edit option by double click on this. So I want to start 10 user, that's fine. I want to invoke maybe 1 on every 10 seconds. So this is the ramp up part, and here on this graph you can see this part is showing the ramp up, at what rate the virtual user is entering the test. So as soon as I hit OK button, this is going to change. So it got changed. Now duration is defined so that user keep on doing the scheduled action for the specified period, thereby enabling us to measure the continuous load on the server. So during the specified duration, the script will keep on doing as many iterations as possible. So once again let's edit this. I am invoking this with double click. So if we select run until completion, so whatever number of iterations we have defined in the script runtime setting, script will execute that many times only. But here we want to execute it for particular time. Let me select 4 seconds over here. As soon as I click OK over here, this is going to change. Okay. Now stop user is nothing but the ramp down. Let's hit this. I want to stop all user 3 in 10 seconds. Now this is the ramp down part, and this is going to get updated as soon as I hit OK. So this was all designing the scenario. So scenario is almost designed, and let's navigate to the run tab. From here we start the test and monitor the same. So first of all we have to configure our runtime results as well. So from result I am accessing the runtime settings. Let's give proper name. Here is the path where I want to save my results. If you want to change this, you can browse that. Let's click OK on this. Look like there is some issue. Okay, so I think that was a maximum factor it can take. Okay, so here is the graph viewing area. So currently you can see 4 graphs. If you want to change this, the number of graphs which we can see maximum is like 8, and if you want to decrease the number, we can go with 2, we can go with 4 as well. Okay, so and here is the list of all the graphs which are available, and we can see at any point of time if we want to see some graph which is not available, so we can do drag and drop, and you can see this graph window resources getting replaced with throughput graph. As soon as we select this, we will see all details stats on the bottom. So we are almost ready to go. We can see all the 10 virtual users down. Here is a start scenario button to start the test. So let's go. So you can see one entered the test. And one is running as of now. Now two are running, and soon we will see the graph getting updated. So you can see runtime graph, running user graph. Two are running. This is the transition response time graph. So you can see transition launch is taking around average 0.7 seconds and login is taking 0.598 seconds. This stats keep on updating, because this is the average, and here you can see maximum and minimum. There is also stats available for standard deviation. This is a hit per second graph. That's a request going to the server, and this is a throughput graph. That is how much data we are downloading from the server. So you can see the hit going up and down. Here is the pass transaction, number of pass transaction we can see from here. So if you want to arrange this, you can see this: 8 launch pass, 7 login passed. So these are all transactions. So far none of the transaction failed. We have all the 10 virtual users up and running. So you can see this is going to be a straight line now, but this was a ramp up part, and we see one transaction get failed. Let's see which one is that. This is a login. Okay, so to create few of our transaction failed, I intentionally provide wrong credential to one of our virtual user, because that is going to help us while doing analysis. Okay, so this was for failed transaction. So you can see, as it was not able to navigate to the home page, so this text was not available, so it got failed over there. This seems to be, for now, this looks me that we have created some collision and it got failed, just because we have did some setting to save 18 length character, but only 17 length character was found. So maybe we will see this during analysis, that what is this, when we have access to our virtual user log, virtual user logs. So I'm just closing this. Okay, so one transaction failed while clicking on continue button. Now in case I want to see this transaction per second for pass, let me see it over here. First of all, let me increase this number. Now I can see maximum 8 graphs. I will see hit per second graph over here. Okay, one graph here, so you can see all the graphs at the same time. So sometimes this is good to see. This is average response time graph. These are all the stats that we collect from the server. We configure that, but these are most of the time the graph that controller generates from the stats that we got from the load test. So you can see all the virtual users are up and running. 10, and soon the test is about to stop because we have just taken 4 seconds as a duration. Once again, let's navigate and see. Most of the connection failed for login. If this was a real test or not the demo one, definitely I'm going to stop the test and make this virtual user which is failing just because of the providing wrong credential, fix that in the script and rerun the test. But I intentionally did this. Now we can see the test is about to stop. 4 has already stopped and 6 are about to exit. So guys, we are almost done with this tutorial. In this tutorial, we have seen how to create the scenario, do runtime setting and run the test, how to monitor it, and what things we need to keep in mind while doing the monitoring for the load test. And by the time it's almost done, 2 more to go. I just want to show how as soon as this test stops, the results will be automatically saved in the path that we have mentioned. You can see this. You can see. So, correlating the results. So we are done with the test, and in next tutorial we will analyze the result that we obtained from this test. Thank you guys.